Next, we will make the main body. It is divided into the tail, the body, sequins, and lace trim. We start by crocheting the tail and body from bottom to top. During this process, you need to attach the hands. Finally, sew on the sequins and lace trim in the corresponding areas of the body. Please watch me demonstrate. Let's start with crocheting the tail. Begin by leaving a yarn tail of about 15 centimeters. Then make a foundation chain of 10 stitches. Next, start from the second to last stitch. Pick up the back bump of the chain. That is, the raised horizontal bar on the back of the chain. Crochet 5 single crochets evenly. Then work 2 slip stitches. The chart says K2 afterwards. K stands for skipping stitches. The number after K indicates how many stitches you need to skip. Here it means skipping 2 stitches. That is, these remaining 2 stitches don't need to be crocheted. Now H1 is complete. Next, work on H2. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. Turn over. In the chart, BLO appears next. It stands for back loop only. This means that the following stitches need to pick up the back loops for crocheting. The back loop is the strand at the back of the current stitch. First, pick up the back loop of the edge stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Then crochet 4 single crochets evenly. Skip the remaining 2 stitches. Now H2 is complete. Continue with H3. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. Turn over. Pick up the back loops and work 4 single crochets. Then work 1 slip stitch. Next, you'll need to pick up the 2 stitches skipped from H1. These 2 chains. Pick up and work 2 slip stitches in the back bumps. Now H3 is complete. Next, we'll work H4. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. Turn over. Then pick the back loops and work 2 slip stitches evenly. Then work 3 single crochets. Skip the next 2 stitches. H4 is now complete. For the following H5 to H10, the methods used have all been demonstrated before. You can directly refer to the chart for crocheting. Pay attention to H7 and H9. When you finish the chains and turn back to crochet, on the right side of the chain, pick up the top strand and insert. After completing, make sure the piece lays flat. Ensure that the chains don't twist. Everyone, finish crocheting these rows. After completion, work on H11. Start with 3 chains. Turn over. Similarly, on the right side, pick up the top strand of the second chain from the hook. Then crochet 5 single crochets evenly. For the stitch, pick its back loop and crochet. Next, make 2 slip stitches. Then pick up the 2 skipped stitches from H9. Pick the back loops and crochet 2 slip stitches. This completes H11. The tail is now finished. Next, we will crochet the body. Continue with the previous yarn. Pick up one side of the tail and crochet in rounds. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain, then along the edge of the tail. On the front side, pick up 1 to 2 strands, insert and make 1 single crochet. One SC2 in 1. One single crochet. One SC2 in 1. One single crochet. This completes one group. Then on the other side edge, crochet another group in the same way. After finishing, everyone checks the stitch count. Finally, join with a slip stitch on the first stitch. Pull tight. For the next R2 to R4, just pick up the stitches from the previous round. Then crochet in rounds. The stitch methods used have all been demonstrated before. Pay attention, I'll emphasize this again. When crocheting in rounds, start each round with a beginning chain, end with a slip stitch and tighten. Everyone finish these rounds. After completion, cut about 25 centimeters of shaping wire. Then fold it in half. Then place it inside the body. Next, use the tail that was left at the beginning. And sew a few stitches to secure it. Finally, hide the yarn inside the piece. Continue crocheting while referring to the pattern. All the way down to R12, everyone finish these rounds. Next, crochet R13. For this round, start by crocheting a few rows first, then continue with crocheting in rounds. Start by carrying the yarn across, stretch the loop on the hook. Draw the piece or yarn ball through the loop. Pull tight. Then locate the 18th stitch of the previous round. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Don't pull the yarn too tight here. Keep it level with the piece. Then make one beginning chain to start. Work one single crochet in the corresponding stitch. As you crochet, you can wrap the carried yarn into the stitches. Then work 4 single crochets evenly in the following stitches. After completing, continue to crochet 7 chains. Then pick up the 17th stitch from the previous round. This is the stitch next to where you joined the yarn before. Insert and make 1 single crochet. Note, keep the chain at the back. Then pick up the stitches from the previous row, work single crochets evenly into each stitch. After completing, pick the adjacent stitch on the left side. Pay attention to the stitch from the previous round. Make 1 single crochet. Then move on to work 9 chains. Insert into the 16th stitch of the previous round. Work 9 single crochets evenly by picking up the stitches below. Similarly, leave the chain at the back without handling it. After finishing, continue crocheting 11 chains. Then pick up the 15th stitch from the previous round. Work 11 single crochets evenly. Then crochet 13 chains. Pick up the 14th stitch from the previous round. Work 13 single crochets evenly. After completing, continue picking up the remaining part of the previous round. Crochet 13 single crochets. Then on the left single crochet, pick up the stitch and make a slip stitch. Pull tight. At this point, our 1-3 is completed. For our 1-4, directly pick up the stitches from the previous round. Just work single crochets evenly. Everyone finish crocheting it. After completion, move on to our 1-5. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain, then work 4 single crochets correspondingly. Next, crochet 1 SC2 in 1. Three single crochets. One SC2 in 1. Four single crochets. Then crochet 13 chains. Then find the second stitch in this round. Insert. Crochet 28 single crochets evenly. Leave the chain at the back without handling it. After completion, join with a slip stitch to the left single crochet stitch. Pull tight. Our 1/5 is now completed. At this point, you can stuff a little bit inside. The amount is up to you. Stuff too much will make it hard. Too little and it won't hold a shape. For our 1/6 below, just pick up the stitches and crochet single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. Similarly, everyone finish this round. Next, work on our 1/7. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain, then crochet 14 single crochets correspondingly. The red A in the chart indicates an invisible SC2 tog. Insert into the front loops of the next 2 adjacent stitches. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Continue by yarn over and draw through the remaining 2 loops. This completes the invisible SC2 tog. Afterward, continue to crochet 9 single crochets evenly. Then work an invisible SC2 tog again. Finally, crochet 1 single crochet. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Since the next round requires a color change, fasten off here. This completes our 1/7. Now, start crocheting our 1/8. Join the yarn at 8th stitch of the previous round. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Then work 26 single crochets evenly. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Our 1/8 is now complete. For our 1/9 through our 2/2, simply follow the chart to crochet. While crocheting, remember to stuff as you go. After completing, start crocheting R2-3. This round requires connecting the hand while crocheting. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Crochet 5 single crochets evenly. Pick up one hand. Here, find the stitch next to the slip stitch mark. That is, the spot near the yarn tail. Insert into the corresponding stitch. Then insert again into the adjacent stitch of the body. Then crochet 1 single crochet. Next, pick up the first stitch on the left side. Along with the body and crochet 1 single crochet. After completing, continue picking up stitches from the body and crochet 9 single crochets. Then connect the other hand using the same method. Continue crocheting by picking up stitches from the remaining body part. Finally, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. At this point, R2-3 is completed. Next, start crocheting R2-4. Start by cutting the shaping wire. Here, fit well to check the length between the two hands. Then take twice the length. Perfectly bend it in half. Then place it in the hand. After completing, start crocheting. The shaping wire for the body can be twisted to secure in place. Begin with 1 chain as your beginning chain, then evenly make 5 single crochets. Afterwards, pick up the remaining stitches of the hand. Work single crochets correspondingly. Altogether, crochet 6 single crochets. After completing, pick up on the body and crochet 9 single crochets. Then pick up on the hand and crochet 6 single crochets. Return to the body. For the remaining stitches, work 1 single crochet into each stitch. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. R24 is completed. For the remaining rounds, simply follow the chart for your crocheting. Pay attention to stuffing as you crochet. For the last few rounds, no stuffing is needed in the even parts. Everyone please finish crocheting the remaining part. After completing, fasten off and leave a 15 cm tail. Next, proceed to close the opening. If there's extra shaping wire here, you can cut it off. Thread the yarn into a needle. Pick up the front loops of the stitches sequentially. Finally, tighten the tail. Complete the closing. Hide the yarn inside the piece. At this point, the main body is crocheted. Next, sew on the sequins and lace trim. Start with the sequins. Use the yarn from the tail here. Take about 50 to 60 centimeters in length. Then separate the strands. Pull out 2 strands like these. Then combine them together. Insert the thin needle. The needle should be able to pass through the sequins here. Then secure the yarn behind the tail. Move forward on the right side. And pick up the gap of the stitch in or one of the body. Exit from the side here. Then insert a sequin. Secure it with the body. Exit from a nearby position. Then insert the sequin. Secure it with the body and exit from the side. Continue inserting the sequins. Follow this method to sew the sequins as you move. Keep sewing until you reach the side of the body on this side. There's no specific requirement for the quantity of sequins sewn here. Just make sure they are flat and dense. After finishing the stitches in H1, skip one round. Insert the needle into the gap of the stitch in the next round. Similarly, sew from one side of the body to the other side. After completing, continue using the same method. Keep sewing the sequins. On the very front side of the body, For the following sections, sew one row of sequins after skipping one round. Sew all the way down until you reach the boundary between the two colors on the body. Everyone should complete this part. If the yarn runs out during the sewing process, you can take more yarn using the method shown earlier. Then tie a knot and secure it on the wrong side. When hiding the yarn, pass it to the back. Tie a few knots with the piece, and then hide the yarn inside. That concludes the explanation for the sequin. Next, we will sew on the lace trim. Sew along the gaps of the stitches right above the sequins. This is stitches of R1 where the color change occurs. During this process, you need to create a pleated effect. First, take the yarn tail from the color above. Cut about 30 centimeters in length. Then pull out 2 strands for sewing. This is done for convenience while watching. I'll demonstrate with another color. Start by inserting the needle from behind the body. And leave a length of yarn tail. There's no specific requirement for the sewing method or effect here. You can adjust according to your preference. Finally, tie the beginning and ending tails with a double knot to secure. Then hide the yarn tails inside the piece, or you can simply cut them off. Also trim off the remaining part of the ribbon. That's it, the lace trim is now sewn on. That concludes the explanation of the main body. Next, we'll crochet the head. The stitches and methods used here have all been demonstrated before. Please refer to the chart and crochet it accordingly. After completion, you need to tuck the last few rounds, which is the part that protrudes here, inside. This part might be a bit tricky to tuck in. So you can use the hook handle or a pair of chopsticks to assist. That's it, we've now finished explaining how to make the head. Next, we will make and attach the facial features. Start by embroidering the eyes. Pick up the corresponding color yarn. Leave a long yarn tail, then pull out one strand. Insert it into a thin needle. Then locate R13 to R14 of the head. Pay attention to place the side with the slip stitch marks at the very back. In the gaps between the rounds, find 4 single crochet stitches that are relatively centered. Then insert the needle from the nearest hole. Start from any position. Bring the yarn to the adjacent hole. Leave a little bit of yarn. Then, add a separated by 5 holes. Insert it. Come out from the symmetrical on the other side. Make sure not to pull the yarn too tight here. Apply a little glue underneath. Bend the yarn into a curve. And glue it securely. Then use the same method to embroider the other eye. Finally, bring the yarn to the starting yarn tail. Tie a double knot to secure it. Then hide the tails inside the piece. That's how you embroider the eyes. Move on to crochet the ears. There are 2 of them. Simply refer to the charts for crocheting. After completion, leave a long yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Next, the right side of the ear facing forward. Then attach it 2 to 3 stitches away from the eyes. That completes the assembly of one ear. Following the same method, symmetrically attach the other ear. Lastly, below the eyes. At an interval from the ears, apply blush. That concludes the explanation of the facial features. Next, we'll make the hair. It consists of 2 parts, the scalp and the hair strand. Start with a magic ring. Crochet the scalp in rounds. The stitches and methods used here have been demonstrated before. Just refer to the chart and crochet it accordingly. After finishing, do not cut the yarn. Once done, start crocheting the hair strand. Continue using the previous yarn. First, refer to the chart and crochet the corresponding number of chains. In my swatch, there are fewer chains. After completing, go back. Start from the second chain from the end. Pick up the back bump of the chain. Correspondingly make single crochets. Work a slip stitch in each of the last 2 stitches. After completing, on the right side of the scalp, be mindful not to twist the hair strand while turning over. Locate the first stitch. Secure with a slip stitch. When there are no special instructions here, there's no need to tighten the slip stitch. Continue crocheting one more hair strand. After completion, on the right side of the scalp, slip stitch into the adjacent stitch to secure it. Continue with another hair strand. After finishing, at the where the previous hair strand was secured, secure with a slip stitch. Using the method of attaching one hair strand to one stitch, then two hair strands to one stitch. Keep crocheting. After completing the last hair strand, fasten off the yarn and hide the tails. Everyone can now finish it. At this point, the hair strand is complete. Next, attach the hair to the head. Match the hole from the magic ring of the scalp with R3 of the head. The front center should align with the gap between the hair strands. After positioning, use glue to secure it slightly. Once done, divide the front hair strands to both sides. Make sure the right side of the hair strands is facing up. Secure the two hair strands on each side first. Flatten the remaining hair strands roughly and fix them separately. Here, you only need to secure it up to the ear. There's no need to fix the rest. Everyone can now finish it. Lastly, make the hair accessories. First, attach two stars like these on one side of the hair. The direction doesn't matter here. Then insert seed beads. Here, take the hair yarn, about 50 to 60 centimeters in length. Then pull out one strand. Insert the thin needle. Make sure the needle can pass through the seed beads. Align the ends of the yarn and tie a knot to secure it. Next, insert into the hair. From an arbitrary position on the inner side. Then, pull out beside the star. Leave a little yarn tail on the outside. Then thread an appropriate amount of seed beads. Here, thread while comparing the length. Stop when you're approximately at the very rear of the back of the head. You need to secure it to the hair a bit. Take out the extra part. As you thread, keep comparing along the curve. Continue threading until you reach the hair parting at the front. I'll explain using the finished product later. While threading downward, you can secure it after covering a certain distance. Then continue threading forward. Then secure it again. After completing this step, continue threading to the other side of the star. Finally, tie the yarn tail to the starting tail, and with a double knot, then hide them inside the piece. Everyone can now finish this part. That concludes the explanation of the hair accessories. Next, we will proceed with the assembly. Here, I'll explain using the finished product. First, attach the head directly onto the main body. Then fold a few rounds of the main body forward. Place the entire piece in the shell in a semi-reclining position. The pose can also be adjusted according to your preference. Then, at the point where the back of the main body touches the shell, apply glue to roughly secure it in place. For the tail, you can pick up both ends with yarn. And secure them separately at the connection point with the body. Here, use the tail yarn to fix it. Once done, let the hair fall loosely on both sides. The styling is up to you. If the hair isn't curly enough, you can curl it around a pen. Then secure the tips of the 3 strands of hair, on each side at the back, to the shell. As for the rest of the hair, you can choose whether or not to secure it based on your preference. Placement is flexible. The securing methods have all been demonstrated before. Everyone can now complete this part. That concludes the explanation of the assembly. Next, we'll make the decorations. Let's start by making the battery cover. Once done, place it over the battery box. Then put it between the inner and outer layers of the shell, where it wasn't sewn before. Sew a few stitches at both ends to secure it. Start crocheting now. Begin by referring to the chart for the foundation chain. Then, from the second stitch from your hook, pick up the top loop of the chains. Make 5 single crochets evenly. Later, work a 3SC in 1. Crochet 3 single crochets in one position. Complete the 3SC in 1. Pick up the remaining chains on the other side. Work 4 single crochets in sequence. Start from the adjacent chain here. Do not pick up the edge where there are 3 single crochets. Weave in the yarn tail as you crochet. Finally, make a SC2 in 1. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. R1 is complete. Continue crocheting by referring to the chart. Here, it's the same. You'll be crocheting in rounds. Just complete the corresponding number of rounds. After finishing, slip the battery box inside. Then place it inside the shell. Next, use the same color yarn as the inner layer. Sew a few stitches on both sides to secure it. Make sure the battery cover doesn't slip out easily. Everyone can now finish this part. That concludes the explanation for the battery cover. Let's move on to making the light string. First, pick up the 2 transparent half-circle balls. Then trim the excess part on the outside. You can use pliers to help with this. Next, thread the light string through the front of the doll, and place it inside the ball. Start by tidying it up. Place the connecting wire on the side you prepared earlier. Then fit the parts together and check the position. Place the ball between the hands, so it looks like it's hugging the ball. Then, tuck all the excess parts of the light string into the ball. Finally, use a glue stick to secure the hands to the ball. If you have a hot glue gun at home, you can insert the glue stick into the gun and use it that way. Or you can directly burn the glue stick with fire and then glue. That concludes the light string. Lastly, use some glue and randomly attach half beads to the hair. Randomly attach stars and starfish to the hair and the shell as well. Everyone, go ahead and complete it. At this point, the explanation of the decoration is complete. Up to this point, this concludes the entire demonstration of this ornament. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Enjoy the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.